What is up, people? Welcome back to Grandpa's Fridge. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna start off the bat. I do know that it has been 2 weeks of dead silence, a long time no speak, but I kind of took a little vacation and I put the last episode that I recorded out right before I hopped on it for the vacation for a week. And I'll talk about this in the podcast episode, but more or less, sorry for like the radio silence, not really saying where I was. Granted, I didn't say it was gonna be every single weekend. I just said weekends. But to make up for that, I will try to get more episodes out in the near future, aka this weekend when it comes out. But to start off the bat, like I said, right the day after I recorded the last episode that went out, I went to a beach in the midst of all this mess that's going on in the world. And I know that sounds like a really dumb thing, considering you can't, like, every beaches are usually crowded, and to be honest, it was because it was a nice day. But starting off the bat, went to the beach, and it, for the most part, people understood because, like, in my state, in my opinion, people still understand that this is going on, and we're keeping our distance for the most part, and really only going out for the most part, like when it comes to stores, essentially, or essential things. But like things that are opening, like reopening phases, like beaches, like a normal day at a beach, or like when this global pandemic wouldn't be going on, people are still trying to keep their distance because when you go to a beach, you don't want to be like smacked on top of someone else's space and you're really close to quarters and like you're squirming with them like an airplane. No, that's not how it is at a beach. You have a lot of room with that sand, and while it does still fill up fast because it was busy there, people still go for their own little area and set up with their umbrellas and chairs and beach towels. So that's how it was there. It wasn't like really a fight to get space, and people weren't like crammed. They still kept as much distance as they could for the social distancing and 6 feet kind of thing, and it wasn't that bad. The water was kind of like really cold, even though it was like June when I went. And to be honest, we ate some nice food. I had my hot Cheetos. It was a nice day. That's why I think it was really busy. The line to get in there to park was going into the road, so it was kind of causing a backup. But that makes sense when, like I said, it's really busy out there. To be honest, when it's nice out and people want to go places and not just sit in the house all year, which I understand. You just gotta go with the main things they ask you to do, and then we'll all be a-okay. And that's what I think the rest of this year is gonna be like. As long as we follow the things they ask us to do, just like keeping distancing, wearing a mask when you go really close quarters in a building, then I think that we'll be fine, to be honest. And I'm not really worried about it because that I did the same things in New Hampshire. In my trip, I went for the week, and same concept in the sense that for the most, I'll get into that a little bit afterwards, but things aren't like the end of the world going into places. It may seem weird, but they don't ask the world of you. It's really, I think, compliable. So yeah, like I said, that was the Friday, the day after I recorded that episode. It was a nice getaway considering I hadn't really gone to a nice like summer place in a while. And then yeah, the following weekend or like 2 days after the beach, we head up to New Hampshire. Me, my aunt, my grandmother, uncle, and two cousins, Nick and Colby. We all went up to there because they had already scheduled the hotel room. Like I think they usually do it in advance, and that this time around they couldn't cancel. And well, if they could have, obviously they would because things we usually go to, like our passes, we have these passes we get every year to go to things like attractions, like theme parks like that and stuff up there. They weren't open till like legit. The worst part about this is the day after we left, they would open, but it would also be really chaotic and you'd have to wear a mask in close quarters for the most part there. So, not that we wanted to go there when the things open with those regulations, but we didn't really want. I mean, we made the best out of it. That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, going up there was not bad. Granted, we knew the circumstances for how the places were. Even though New Hampshire had the ability to open up places and have people dining in and a couple things, they still seem to be taking it rather slow because they wanted to not risk this virus spreading more. As in, a lot of restaurants were closed, and we had to really get slim pickings when it came to where we were going to eat and how we were going to do things in there because they have regulations. Like, for example, a Chili's and Applebee's are chain restaurants, but they are able to in their state to open under the regulations of the state, also complying with how the chain wants to set things up there. So yeah, we knew what we were going into. The pool was open in the hotel, both pools, indoor and outdoor. That was nice. I like to swim a lot, so that was cool, and my cousins were having fun there. The main thing we did up there was go to like national parks because my uncle got a fishing license for the week, which was kind of expensive, but we were up there for a lot of time, and that was one of the big things we could do because national parks were open and they let you go into there on your own risk in the sense of crossing paths with someone who might be sick. But it wasn't like mobbed and crowded for the most part at most of the the national parks areas. Went to a couple ponds, Lake Beaver Pond is for example one of them. It was a nice area, really nice photos and viewing area in the summertime. It was peak sunrises and sunsets and the sun sitting in the sky and nice views of the mountains. I always love going to New Hampshire, and I was happy we got to go even for that little week that it was, because it was a nice getaway from the house, because the last 2 months kind of been sitting in the house. Granted, my pool is open now, so I can swim in that, but it's always just nice to have a change of scenery, and that's my opinion. Like I said, lots of first. The first big thing that I would say that happened like the day after we settled in and went out to somewhere for the first day of the trip and week. I caught my first fish. Apparently it was a bass. It was pretty cool. Unfortunately, after that, I didn't have any other luck with fish. I caught a crayfish, which was kind of funny because I hooked it and it grabbed onto the line and I got it out of the water like a little tiny. Think of a mini lobster. That's what they look like. They're not the same exact thing, but they have the same exact structure in my opinion. Yeah, so that was sick. Other first things include first vacation in a global pandemic, first time going up there, and most things, if not all, the main attractions we usually go to are closed. Regarding the nature things, like I said, the ones we went to, everything else we usually go to the check parks, like Storyland, Santa's Village, those types of places. Like, look at my Summer of Vlogs videos, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about on YouTube. Those are the places we go to and have fun there. But they were closed for the time being. They're slowly reopening, but they're going to be really not strict, but they're going to have these things in place so people actually are safe here. Overall, lots of national forests I went to. First time going visiting these places. I've never been to most of these national forest park locations. Some of them I have. They're nice scenery views, but it was cool to go out in the air, in the open, in the a great outdoors, pretty much, is what I would call New Hampshire, and it's really vast and open with the mountain ranges surrounding you. But there's a lot of spots you can stop and get pretty photos, pretty views, catch some fish if you're lucky. Like my uncle caught like 6 fish at this Wiley Pond, and it was a good time with the fishing. I don't really fish in my free time or when I'm not with him. He's really good at this stuff. He got all the lures. He was helping people catch him like crazy. He was just going left and right catching fish like it was nothing. And then me, on the other hand, even though the main thing I can't do that well when it comes to fishing is reeling or casting outward. I mean, casting really far out into the water at the main center part of the water where the fish really are. That's where he catches a fish. I have trouble sometimes getting it all the way out with the cast. But I digress. I still had fun the whole time. Places like Zeb's, which is a general store in North Conway, we're open. Granted, they have limited amounts of people that go in there at a time, like groups, and it's still like almost every place up there had a glass screen in front of where you order and give money to, just for the sake of like if you had to sneeze or talk and you're transferring the saliva, and it's all the stuff that can possibly transfer the virus. They're being very safe about it and smart, in my opinion. I understand people are mad that things aren't open, or they're opening very strangely compared to how it is or usual years, but you have to understand there's still a global pandemic going on and the amount of cases just keeps increasing day by day. But I'm not saying look at that, I'm just saying be aware that it's happening in the background of your life. That's why they do the things they're doing when it comes to having these protections and safety precautions, like in a candy store. The world's longest candy counter, Shutters, in Lincoln, New Hampshire. Really sick place. I got a lot of stuff there. They require you to wear a mask, and if you don't have one on you, like you didn't bring one to New Hampshire on your trip, which I recommend doing that if you do plan on going anywhere like out of state, and they ask you to self-quarantine if you're entering a new state. A lot of people I know definitely do not do that because they're already on like a set time to be up there. But still, do what you can. That's what I ask when it comes to vacations up there. They ask you to wear a mask. If you don't have one, they have medical masks for you to grab, and that's just for the safety of their customers. So I get it. I get everything they're saying up there. Well, on a 4-hour train ride, that sounds awful. I know some people probably just sitting on a train for 4 hours, but it was really scenic. I had this nice chili. We got some candy and drinks, and it was a nice ride. We'd never been on it before, so it was cool. It's at North Conway, and I think it's a longer train. Halfway through it, it'll stop at the station, and they move the train off another track, and then it goes in the front, so it pushes you backwards the way you came. It's really. At the second half, especially, they were playing some nice old like classic and blues music. It was almost like swing music. Some of it, think of the Polar Express. It was really cool, and I had fun on that as well. Like I said, most of the days were the national parks. We went to the pool a couple of times. Went to this one swimming hole called Otter Rocks. Really cool. There's literally a nature made water slide with this rock that slides down, and I had fun there. Overall, I had a good trip, and I was happy to just get out of the house for a bit, and I would not really complain. I'm happy I took it instead of just staying at home playing Xbox because I've been doing that plenty in the last few months, and like I said, nice change of scenery is always good. Uh, One of the things that happened, I think I might have talked about it last week. I'm not, or the last episode. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll go quickly over what I think of it because I'm still having really fun with it. Fortnite Season 3 came out. Dive in. I think it's called Deep Splash, and the whole concept is the map is flooded. Uh, there's sharks on the map. You can fishing rod to swim around with them. The boats are really more useful now. The map's slowly gonna the water's gonna descend, decede, and then after like 2 more weeks, I think from now, once this goes up, there'll be cars in the game, which people have been asking for so long for that. It's gonna be probably game changing and cool. Give me PUBG vibes from what I saw in the trailer. It might be cool. They changed the pump shotgun into the charge shotgun, which people have been crying left and right about this, but I think it's awesome. It's really cool to fun. Changes the game up, and that's a lot of things in this season. A lot of first. With like new things that are adapting, like the new water and relying more on it, and the map being more vast and open, but also spread out. But I think another cool part about it is how when you walked in there, even though there was a leak way back in April 2020 something this year. I think around like 21st, 22nd, before the Travis Scott event, I'm pretty sure, or maybe right after it. There was leaks about everything in this season, or even from the start, like the flyer gun, the fireflies in the jar, the map being flooded, all the battle pass skins, pretty much. And just hearing it in word form doesn't. And every leak about it, I was like, this doesn't sound too good. I don't know how I feel about that, especially with the light leak was doing true, which it came to the point where everything was accurate perfectly about it. But when I still logged on that day when it came out, I was like, this looks way cooler than the leak made it out to be. Granted, they said everything pinpoint accurate, and all the skins and stuff they said, all the things that would happen to the map and the weapons and the new things in the game were on point. The Aquaman being the secret skin, all that stuff was correct. But seeing it in person is way different and changes your opinion, even if a leak tells you everything about it, which kind of did. I wasn't mad when I opened it. I was like, this looks sick, and I'm still to this day having fun with this season because there's a lot of new stuff they keep adding constantly, from the weapons and I guess the things that change up the game when it comes to combat, but also the little like collaborations. Like a couple days ago, Captain America was in the shop. I think he might still be in there, but it's a cool collaboration. More stuff like that's coming in the future, and little events and things. Overall, this season is on a good path, and I think it's going to be even cooler as we get towards the end of it when the cars come in like a few weeks. And I'm having fun with it. It's really fun, keeping the game alive and interesting for me, and I'm still playing and having fun. That's just my opinion. If you aren't a fan of the game right now because you think it's really messy, I think people were talking about this on Twitter or a video. They have. Or no, yeah, it was another podcast. I Talk Fortnite's guy with Pizza. They're talking about how competitive seasons, or competitive players, when the season is really fun, complain about it being way too out there and wacky and messy when it comes to combat and playing the game, I guess, on a normal meta standpoint. But the thing that makes them money for those championships is the people who buy the cosmetics. And you know what gets people to buy the cosmetics and battle passes and all these things in the shop with V-Bucks? The good seasons, the wacky stuff that's out there, and makes people want to buy it and be like, you know what, I'll give $10 to get that battle pass, and it money towards Epic, and then that's what makes them fund the money to give out so much cash to those competitive things. So it may be like not every other, but like every few seasons there'll be a really wacky season, and then there'll be a couple ones that are really strong for competitive. And people who complain about this season, like when it comes to like the competitive players wanting the shotgun being removed and put back to the pump and all the things with the water, it's like, you guys got to understand where they're coming from when it comes to how they make the money and balance everything out in their standpoint. And in my opinion, this season is really fun, and I think this is a good thing to have for the summertime, especially considering people don't want to be sweating in the game when it's summertime and just trying to have a fun time with the water theme and the sharks and stuff and cool things like that, especially with the Aquaman thing coming eventually. Point is, it's just meant for you to be having fun in the game right now, and I think that's exactly what they did and nailed it on the head, and I'm having fun and I'm looking forward. Hopefully, there's rumors about a bunch of leaks going out there, like really, not game breaking, but like insiders are leaking stuff like that they shouldn't be leaking, like keys to encrypted skins, which is gonna be bad. But I digress. Eventually, things will start to lower to the water again. Like I said, the cars coming in. I'm excited for the whole season. Overall, I'll stop talking about it. I like this season a lot, and it's fun. The game is fun for me. Another game that's really fun for me right now, since the update came out just about 2 weeks ago, I think, is the Minecraft Nether update came out, and Minecraft is actually fresh and fun in my opinion right now. I've been playing like the last week really hard. I had a world that didn't do too good on it, so I eventually just sort of scrapped that world because I was building something way too out of my, not league, but like it takes a lot of resources and it was kind of a mess. I built Tomato Town. I built it in creative. I finished it after in creative. It wasn't that bad. But this new world I made, I'm actually having fun with it. The Nether has a lot of new stuff from the Piglins and Hoglins and the new biomes, the red and blue ones, the wart things, I think, the Bastion remnants where you can get mad cool loot. There's a new music disc. It's sick. It's Pigstep. It's new. I think this Lena something is her name, the one who made it. You can trade with the piglins to get some good loot. Overall, making a new world right now feels so fresh and fun. I was saying this earlier today. Lots of new stuff to go for and explore in the game. It makes making a new world fun and fresh again. There's cool concepts when it comes to how the biomes work and how you can get farms and stuff off them and what you can use the things inside the biomes for, like new wood blocks, red and blue ones look really nice. And the biomes overall are really cool. And they make the Nether look way more alive compared to what it was before, just red and orange, pretty much the lava color, and a little bit of black with the bedrock. I don't know. I'm just having really fun right now with where it's at in the game, and I have hope for hopefully this year they have a really sick idea with the December update, because I know last year was kind of like with the Busy Bees update, and they were kind of fixing bugs mainly, which I'm glad they did because the game feels a lot more better on the Bedrock edition, I think it is, that I play on Xbox. The Better Together update put them all together in one thing, and you can play with people on other consoles and devices. But I don't know. This update is good. I think they're adding future things a little bit down the road, like the Piglin Brutus, I think was one of the things. Overall, it's cool. A lot more stuff keeps the games fresh, like Fortnite and Minecraft did. I'm having fun with them, and I don't know. It's a good time right now. From days when I'm going to the pool, going in my pool, watching movies like Black Panther and Ready Player One, some of my favorite movies ever. I don't know. That year was really good for movies, 2018, and those movies are both cool. I've been building some stuff in Minecraft based off of Black Panther, and I probably could add something in it based off Ready Player One, like a giant Easter egg. I don't know. But I'm not going to talk too much about Minecraft and what I've been doing. Although, just to kind of really back, but replay. Like I said, I went on the vacation, came back. My cousins checked out the new house, and everyone got like a little view of it. They like it. I'm not gonna lie, the house is kind of nice. I got my own bathroom, and I got the whole basement area. It's really nice down here, and it's cold, and the best I think in the summertime. It's kind of not cold, chilly, but like you can walk down those stairs and you'll feel a temperature change, and it's muggy upstairs most days. So I'm happy I got it down here. So, yeah, let's see. Next thing I have right here. Hear me out right this. I'm not going to get too deep into these things right here because I have a entire, I guarantee it will be relatively long, episode planned just talking about all music that I've really enjoyed this year. The first half, just about, maybe half, and maybe like let's see, like 7/12, if that makes sense, or 3.5 out of 6 of the months. Simplifying it, I don't know what I'm doing with the math. Point is, this is just quick thoughts because I have a whole entire in-depth episode on every single thing that I've really liked this year and what I'm looking forward to. So, a couple of songs that dropped over the last few weeks. Learn to Fly from Services and Elton John. This song is really like low key or not low key, but like it's really mellow and it's also upbeat and it's really nice song. And Elton John, it sounds really good. And someone commented on the music video. As a god when Elton John is like still this old, this many years later from when he really had like the crazy songs that were blowing up in like the 70s. He was popping the most, but he's still 40 years later from that, or almost 50 now, making amazing music, and he just sounds so good on songs and features and all that stuff. Like, hopefully, Benny, the artist that sings Super Lonely, it's on the radio, probably you've heard at least once or twice. You can consider it a TikTok song, but it's not really, in my opinion. Or it doesn't, like, TikTok using a song doesn't define it for me. I don't use TikTok that much. I used to check it out, and that's where I heard the song from someone else who posted on their Instagram story a song from her, and I listened to that one, and I really liked it. Hopefully, Benny and Elton John make a song. That would be kind of a good deal, because, what is it? There's an interview, I think, with those two. I don't know if it released yet. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube or Instagram Live. And those two just seem like they go hand in hand. And you think of Benny and the Jets, you think of Benny right there. That would be a sick, like, I don't know, just a maybe not duo, but like a really cool feature together, those two working on a song. And I hope that happens. A song that goes in the topics of what's going on in the world right now, Lockdown, Anderson .Paak. Amazing song. Who said it was a lockdown? Goddamn lie. That right there. he starts spitting facts. He talks about the secret agents hiding around us in the crowds. Judge gotta watch us from the clock tower. It's he just gets way too into it. This song reminds me of like think of Bubbling, like from 2017, I think it was, but like about the revolution and the movement going on in the world right now, like how much stuff is happening, how not messy, but how crammed, how much stuff is crammed into this year. Think of that. And that song is so catchy. Anderson .Paak has that voice, and it's just really. He's people always say on YouTube comments he sounds he's not even from this generation. I can't even lie. I agree with that because Anderson .Paak just he nails every song. Listen to you want a really good album. Listen to Oxnard. Oxnard is so good. It has this R&B kick to it, and the drums on it are really nice. And he has this voice that goes over all three of his albums are amazing. Malibu, Oxnard, and Ventura. What a trio. They're not even Malibu isn't even connected to those two. Oxnard and Ventura are two pieces of a puzzle that go hand in hand, but oh, the holy trinity of music right there with his stuff. He's crazy good. And he has so many good songs from Come Down, Tints, Six Summers, Who Are You, Come Home with, I'm pretty sure Andre 3000, Make It Better, Smokey Robinson, What Can We Do with Nate Dogg. The features are insane. He worked with Dr. Dre on the album for Oxnard. Anderson .Paak, I'm just getting into it really quickly. I'm just recommending him as an artist. He has like one of my favorite albums of all time. Oxnard is super good. Real quick, just because I'm talking about this, I'm just gonna say one thing about my. I think when there was a thing going on with Bill, like a photo of Bill Clinton listening to music, and you put your 4 top albums. I think it's called on if you type it into your search bar and whatever you're listening to, or if you have a computer or a phone nearby. Bill Clinton swag. I'm pretty sure Bill Clinton swag is the website, and it sounds so random just saying that on a podcast, but that's where you can put in the 4 albums of like I guess your 4 favorite albums or 4 really good albums in your opinion. What I remember, if I these may not be set in stone, but I'm pretty sure these are definitely in my top like 5, 10-ish. Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon 1. Amazing album. Kid Cudi was in his prime right there. He's still going off this year with the Scots and the Intergalactic songs, Leader of the Delinquents, and he's got the Kids See Ghost animated show and Kanye stuff all around, and the podcast coming soon, and that Netflix show coming next year with the music he's making for right now, Intergalactic. But Kid Cudi on that album just has so much emotion in the music. People will say they love sometimes more emotional music than just rapping about stuff in general. I kind of agree with them there, and Kid Cudi nails that over the head, talking about like actual topics and like mental health and how he was in that time. But also like Nightmares are some of the songs on it, like Pursuit of Happiness is a nightmare, Day and Night is a nightmare. Like these like darker tones in the songs, but it's still a really nice, catchy song. And like the lonely stoner seems to free his mind at night. He's on the pursuit of happiness, and he knows everything that shines and always gonna be gold. Kid Cudi's amazing, bro. And if you're not onto him yet, you should be. That was one of my first one, I think. Second one, Flower Boy. I don't need to say much about Flower Boy, or that hasn't already been said, I guess. Flower Boy, I have a poster of it in my room. I love that album. I love the sound of it, and I'm just going to get really quickly into it. Igor is not even bad. Igor is just a really emotional thing. Flower Boy is like talking to, not a therapist, but like driving a car, and that's his therapist, and like his music is in talking to like an invisible person that doesn't real, like he says in one of the songs. All these writing songs about these people that don't exist, he's such a fucking phony. You want to really like experience, listen to that album front to back. That's what I mean, because that album is literally a car ride. I haven't listened to it while driving, but trust me, at some point I will. And the songs, they have their own just different sound to them, but it almost sounds like all one, like not genre, but like everything kind of flows so cohesively. And the whole theme of it with the flower stuff, dropping seeds, garden shed, pothole, I think a flower pot when I hear that. The cars and flowers, you would have never thought, or in my opinion, I would have never thought cars and flowers would go so hand in hand with a theme of a album that is just so like pinpoint, and it does remind, like, if you give me like a movie feel. He wanted to make like the soundtrack to a Disney film in this music, while also spitting bars and facts and stuff and how he's actually feeling, and really pouring himself into the music this time. And granted, he does that more in Igor, actually talking about like the situation he was in with I think it was a three-way, not three-way, but like I think of a Bermuda Triangle with 3 people for a relationship, a triangular relationship with one guy, another guy, and a girl. That's sick, with the whole concept of the Igor album and how it sounds so eerie in most parts, but also beautiful. That's a really colliding. That almost gives me My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy vibes right there. But at the same time, Flower Boy I like a little bit more just for the sound of it and how smooth every song is to me. Even the dark, grungy songs like Who That Boy, I Ain't Got Time, and November, just going like into how he feels and what he misses and stuff. It's so good to me. So yeah, the second one was Flower Boy for good reason. I love that album. I think it's like my, if not, yeah, I checked my last FM today. My most listened to album by like maybe 30 listens is Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia, which is amazing. I've already said that in my first episode, I think, of this podcast. Listen to that if you haven't. But right behind it, by like a pinch of listens, I guess for the songs and the album, is Flower Boy. And my top songs of all time go down Igor and Flower Boy, mainly Flower Boy and a couple songs Igor mixed into that because I think it's a really good song. Gone Gone Thank You is a really good song on Igor. All this stuff I'm getting you on. You should be at the very least just listen to a couple of these songs because I think you'll enjoy them at least a little bit. So yeah, I said Day and Night, Oxnard, Flower Boy, and the last one I watched the movie yesterday. Like I just said, Black Panther, and I watched it again today just to get some parts for my Minecraft thing I'm building. The Black Panther soundtrack is so good, and 2018 had the pop-in soundtracks for with like almost an entirely black cast and also our black artist group, and the amount of really good music put into it, and not all the songs. And you know, it's crazy. The music is inspired by Black Panther. It's not even all used in the movie, but the ones that are also stand out, and they're really good. And on top of that, the music's just good on its own. Like, it doesn't even have to portray the whole Black Panther theme. The songs are just standalone great. I Am, Georgia Smith, All the Stars, Kendrick and SZA, X with, I think it's Schoolboy Q, 2 Chainz, and there's someone else, I think Kendrick, obviously, because he pretty much composed this album. It's TDE as a group doing this. There's another one. I'm trying to think. What is it? Pray For Me with The Weeknd and Kendrick Lamar is one of the best songs. And those two are a duo right there. I just love these songs. And going back to what I was saying, 2018 with the black artist groups, the Spider-Man Beyond the Into the Spider-Verse is another really good one. I can pull it up real quick right here. I know Amine's Invincible song is really good on that. Also, there's the Jaden Smith song Way Up. Let me find it right here. Spider-Man. Here it is. And people don't like Nicki Minaj. There's a lot of good songs in it. They also, I think they all pretty much tie into the movie. I unfortunately haven't seen it yet, so I'm behind in that. But Home, Vince Staples, Elevate with Denzel Curry and DJ Khalil, I think. Scared of the Dark has X and Lil Wayne on it. That's a not even bad one. Let Go isn't a bad one. These songs also convey emotion pretty well, and I'm sure they have even better tie-ins to the movie. Start a Riot, Duckworth. I love this group of artists. Post Malone with Sunflower and Sway Lee. These albums are just great in my opinion. I'm just telling you, in my opinion, you should listen to them. And I got distracted, I know, from saying the new songs recently, but I'm just really quickly telling you that these are songs that just stand out. And okay, next song, Wash Us in the Blood, Kanye and Travis Scott. Really out of nowhere, he just announced West Day Ever. Like, he was just starting to announce so much stuff. He's going on the Gap collaboration with like $10 million or something like that for a couple, or no, 10 years, I think, for like something, a good amount of money. And there's a big tie-in. He used to have lyrics in other songs, like maybe around College Dropout and Late Registration, talking about the homies drop at the Gap and stuff. And now it's a reality. He's working with Gap. He's got the God's Country is his upcoming or forthcoming album, is what he called it, and the single that released to it, Washes in the Blood, is so good. The music video gives you Yeezus vibes. It's literally Yeezus to meets Jesus, if you had to put it into like 3 words, because Kanye starts going in like heavy mindset, like yabba 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 ya, almost like Yeezus was with that crazy like in your face music for the most part, and also emotion inside of it. But this is him screaming with emotion and talking about things, as well as Travis Scott getting into these really heavy subject matters and how the world's at right now. And it's fitting, and it's crazy that they can talk all about all of this, and Kanye doesn't even have to swear because he went all Christian on us. But he's not even bad with these words. And Dr. Dre produced this song. It's so good overall. These 3 are not a match made in heaven, but these 3 are a really good trio when it comes to making production, crazy lyrics, crazy what's the term, performance, how you execute it. And Travis and Kanye, From Piss in Your Grave to Watch, those 2 are really good. I don't want to talk about this next one too much because I have a whole entire thing written about how I felt about it. But Pop Smoke's album came out like a week ago by the time this goes up, a little bit over. I wasn't when okay. when Gotti came out off Jack Boys, I wasn't that big a fan of it. I was like, this guy sounds like he's 60 and has like not lung cancer, but like sounds like he smokes a lot of cigarettes, which is funny because Post Malone smokes a lot of cigarettes, but his voice isn't even that raspy. He still sounds really good. Like 3 years later, when it comes to how much cigarettes he smokes, he's probably been smoking for a long time. But I digress. Pop Smoke on Gotti just sounded so not out of place, but like a weird song in my opinion. Like, ooh, that baby. Let me see some. Okay, okay. Like that voice does sound like he's raspy and smokes a lot of cigarettes, and like he sounds like, as Anthony Fantano put it today, or the day I'm recording this, his review came out like last night. I just watched it because I was interested in what he said. He wasn't even saying it was bad. He actually kind of liked it a lot. It was just some spots seemed like bad mixing in the sense of how often Pop Smoke was singing compared to other people like 50 Cent on that one song. But I liked it a lot. I'm not trying to get too much into other people's reviews. He said on his old projects, he literally sounds like the voice of Smoke. Like he sounds like the embodiment of Smoke when it comes to these songs. I'm not gonna deny that because his voice is so like. I'm not gonna say it's not unique. It's unique in a definite way. Like it's really clear how unique Pop Smoke's voice is and how we can use it, especially on this album. Because the R&B of it, I'm just gonna say right now, is so good, and that's what really makes me love this album a lot. 50 Cent executive produced it, so 50 Cent has so many good songs and albums that like you already know it's gonna be good when 50 Cent works to work on it. And he also said it in like IG lives before that he loved Pop Smoke, and you know. He means it genuinely about this man because he doesn't say he loves anything really, or he doesn't say it out and openly. 1 minute, but yeah, 50 Cent is really he nailed this. In my opinion, he nailed it really well. The balance between mix. I mean, I guess people weren't expecting it. Doesn't mean it's bad. R&B, Pop Smoke is so good. The songs in this that are R&B are amazing. Yeah, yeah. What You Know About Love, Something Special. I think there's a couple others that aren't bad. I think Diana sounds weird, like it's not the best one, but it's not even a bad R&B song. It's right here, the whole list. Also, one that I guess it's not R&B really, but Enjoy Yourself. That one's really good in my opinion. And then there's Got It On Me, which is such like a triumphant song. It sounds like something Kanye would produce with these vocals like, oh. Oh, I love those crowd chants, like in the think of the Coliseum, a whole crowd of people watching a giant tiger fight this one gladiator. That's what I think of when I hear that song, and they're really sick. Another standout song is the Woo. I like Snitching, the song Snitching on here with Quavo and Future. Someone was saying it sounds weird how Future sounds like he's trying to impersonate Pop Smoke, but I think they all try to match his not like copy it, but like go with what he sounds like on a song. Quavo's on here a little good bit. I don't know if he needed to be on here that many songs. If I would take a one song away, it would probably be Quavo with Tyga and West Coast Shit, that song, because it's not bad. Pop Smoke actually sounds the best song out of all of them in my opinion, but Make It Rain is also a really fast, in-your-face song, like a hype song, like, I make it rain like whoever, literally just, and then he goes like, I got the hoes like you have to. He's sick. For the Night with Little Baby and the Baby, I like that one, some people don't. 44 Bulldog isn't bad. The intro and outro songs are really short, and I like that. They're not like just gibberish for a long time. The outro song, I like how it's an interview. I'm pretty sure it's The Breakfast Club. I could be wrong. It might be a complex interview. And they say, where do you want to see Pop Smoke in 100 years? Or talking about his name. He said, I wanted to be known that I changed the game and that people noticed me as like a big like not influence, but like he set us in stone a big change. Not people copying him, but like how you can sound different in this rap game, I guess you can call it, and still be really good. Overall, I didn't think I liked that album because I'm not that big fan of his mixtapes, but he sounds so different and so much better on this album that 50 Cent nailed how he finished this and worked it around. Like Anthony Fantano brought up, it reminds me of how they handled Mac Miller's Circles, because Mac Miller didn't probably make all the production. He probably had lots of starts, but like rough drafts, essentially, think of demos. And John Bryan spent the last year and just about 5 months finishing it up. Although it might have been finished a couple of months before it came out. So think of like a year, probably, of him dedicating his time to making this music sound finished and so complete. But it sounds like such a finish line to his life, and that album it just hits more because he passed away. You could say the same thing about Pop Smoke, but I didn't have as much of a sincere reaction when, I guess, not trying to be mean about it, but when Pop Smoke passed, I wasn't like as like hit by it or hurt, but I felt affected, essentially, because I wasn't a big fan of his music. But this album changed my opinion on his stuff, and I'm like, this is a good album, in my opinion. All right, another really good announcement in my or good two good things coming out or big things like new album announcements and also a single. Amine, he been dropping singles all year. He started in the end of February 20. I think it was 28th. Maybe 2 days before 26th. I was at Shaw's the day it came out. I remember that. Not working or anything, but I was there getting stuff with my grandmother at the store. And or no, the day before it came out, he posted like tomorrow. And it's been a whole year, McCleary. Amine was on the side of a mountain. I was like, what is this dude doing? And he dropped Shimmy. Shimmy's a sick song. I realized like a month later that it sampled Shimmy Shimmy Ya by Old Dirty Bastard. That makes me like it more just because I hear it in the background, the sample of it. And he also dropped Riri at the end of May, the same day, 28th, as Alfredo. I like that one the most out of all three singles, but I'll get into the next one that came out yesterday, or maybe a few days ago when this comes out. It's called Compensating. When he dropped a little teaser, I didn't listen to it, but I was like, well, it's got Young Thug on it, and it's really good. First, I'll say that right off the bat, but also when the day of it dropped, like he announced it like a day before or like 24 hours ish. He said notifications on, and I was like, when people say that, you know some kind of announcement's got to be coming. Maybe it was just I was thinking maybe it would just be merch, but I'd still be happy with merchandise and a new single than nothing. But no, he announced the album. It is called Limbo, and it's coming out August 7th, so just about a month away, a little less when this drops. I just want to say it's 14 tracks, 44 minutes from what it says on Apple Music. That could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Makes sense. It sounds like it's going to be a good time, considering the three singles are all really good. Granted, when Shimmy dropped, I was like, Amine really getting into more like rapping about these like flexes kind of things. But that was just that one song. He wasn't flexing everything afterwards in the next two singles. But he sounds different, but not even bad. Like a new Amine, if he just switched up, and almost like Kanye used to say this. He not the line about killing himself every time he's changed his hair color or thought about it or changing up his style. Think of that, yeah. Amine changed his hairstyle and then changed his not flow. For every time he dropped a new single, his hair kind of changed a little bit for this one. But the whole overall sound is new and different in my opinion for Amine. But it sounds so good. And honestly, 14 tracks, I'm excited considering looking at the track list on Apple Music right here. I think the first one is Compensating, and then no, maybe I'm wrong. Hold up, it's right here. It's coming out. Oh, he got more photos on his thing about. Yeah, the first one is Compensating. It's track 6. It's already trending and stuff. It's going up crazy. It's on like New Music Daily on Apple Music. He's popping with this song, and it's really good. That one is track 6, track 7 is Shimmy, and then track 9 is Riri. So there's a track in between the singles, so I wonder what that one's going to be. To be honest, I'm excited for the whole sound of it. I think 3 singles is enough. I think he shouldn't drop I would be happy with more music, but I think the album is a good length overall amount of track list that he should keep the rest of the songs to drop the same day, and then we have 3 singles to listen to. I've been listening to them in like the last 24 hours on repeat because they're all really good, and I'm excited for it. And I think when it all drops, that would be 11 new songs total for me, and I want to hear those all the same day, and I want some fire, and I'm expecting some good stuff. Not get my hopes up, but I know Amine don't miss, especially when these 3 singles are all really good and different in their own ways. Like when it comes about what he's talking about, from 3 Stacks and Gillette, talking about how he's got the dogs in Gillette, and he's flexing the money, and he's rented out the whole entire Gillette Stadium. Or not Gillette, he's renting out a stadium for the music video for Shimmy. He's got the flexes, and he's showing off that he's been popping the last year and a half since he made 1.5 and dropped that. And he's kind of dropped a couple singles, but he was kind of or not singles, like he dropped the Invincible on October with the Spider-Man album, and then dropped Places and Faces freestyle last year. But I'm glad Amine's back. This is gonna be his year. I think he said he said it in a post I have it like, oh, don't worry, 2020 summer about to be still lit. He's not gonna let it die because of Corona. He's making sure that stuff's still going to happen. So like I said, Limbo, August 7th, mark your calendars because that's going to be sick, and I'm excited already, and it's a month away, but I'm still going to be looking forward to it. Still mad that, not this isn't related, but I'm still mad Joji delayed his album without any announcement why. I think we could guess why it's probably going on with current events. But the next thing kind of relates to why it's a good thing in his case, I guess, for sales. But still, I'm mad that it was like a 3-month delay. Or no, 2 months, July, August, yeah, 2.5 month delay. I'm like, come on, Joji, because you know they're waiting for like a year and a half. By the time the album comes out, it'd be almost 2 years since your last project. You dropped like 3 singles. It's like, come on. Since he delayed it, I'm really hoping that he drops another single and maybe like August. That's fair enough in my opinion because when you got 18 tracks, it would be 15 new at the moment. You can take it. You can drop one more single, still 14 new tracks. That's the entirety of Amine's album. And going off new tracks on his album, that's already 12 at the moment. Or no, 11. So lots of new music overall in the next month or 2 months. Next week, I'm gonna get right now into what's coming up and why I think it's good that he delayed his album for his sales, but still kind of want to hear more Joji because I'm excited and a lot of new songs. Yeah, right here, new. And I'm guessing, in my opinion, it's the final Juice WRLD album. Is titled Legends Never Die. It drops July 10th, aka the day it'll be out the day this comes out. I'm pre-recording this before the actual day I'm gonna release it. But there's no track list. I think so. Kid Cudi tweeted July 10th, so either he's dropping something or he's on. He's on the album. So, I don't know. The album cover art for this one is so nice. The Juice WRLD album. I'm happy to whoever drew that. It doesn't say, I don't think. No, it doesn't say, but this is a really sick drawing, and it looks like just like the man. And it's got on his vest in the album cover. Well, it's got butterflies behind him. It reminds me of Flower Boy, but it's nice. Like, it's not even like I'm happy this is the album cover. This is sweet, way better than some Virgil Abloh type beat where you just got a photo of Pop Smoke with some diamonds around it. That looked like a bootleg version of Drake's. I think the Drake and Future tape or single. Or there's a little project between the two of them. That diamond cover mixed with Rockstar's cover with the snake on it with the barbed wire for Post Malone. I'm like, Virgil, you can do better than this. You've made some fire things. I've seen things that he made. He made the Watch the Throne cover and a couple other ones, and I'm like, dang, you're not even bad. So why are you making this thing right now? And then they changed it, and the rose, the black and white rose, is actually way better in my opinion. But yeah, right here we got Juice WRLD. Got the ice on his neck, got the butterflies. The dates are, I think, until he died. So I think I'm trying to think. I think that's 98. I'm pretty sure he was born in 98. I could ask how old he is, but I'm pretty sure it's 98 to 19. So 20 something. Which is I think he was 21. Yeah. Oh yeah, because he said in that one song, hit the 21, die the 21 club, and then it happened, which was kind of sad when the whole mess came out with how he passed. But yeah, the album. I think hopefully they don't just drop single after single about like money grab like what happened with XXXTentacion, because just wasn't happy with that overall mess of releasing stuff for money kinda. And it's kind of a mess with how finally they released finally the last album, but it was still a lot of just stuff that seemed unfinished, and they were just putting it out for money and people to listen to it. I understand wanting to give people the music, like Kanye said, screw all this dick swinging contest and let the people have the music. But still, I don't know why they milked his music dry after, because I think 2018 was a good. The Question Mark project was really good, and I don't know, it just went downhill from that. Even though the Falling Down song with Lil Peep, ain't even gonna lie, I'm not a Lil Peep fan. There's like one song from him I actually like besides this one, but that song is good between the two of them. And honestly, that one was like the last really good thing I think came from him, and then it kind of just went downhill. But yeah, talking about Juice WRLD again, I'm excited. I'm gonna listen to that. Obviously, that's next for that's when this releases yesterday, and I'll probably talk about in the next episode. What I think about it, as in not afterwards of this week, as in Friday, like after the album releases, obviously, because it's not out at the moment that I'm recording this. That's kind of the big things with music. Trying to think what else I could talk about. Oh yeah, I'll talk really quickly about this. One recent thing. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I will talk about, like, I hadn't seen like any of my friends since literally that, I think March 12th was the last time I saw like a big group of people. And if you didn't know, 4th of July was last weekend. So people go crazy in America on 4th of July. They do fireworks the night of, the night before, the night after, all that stuff, and they like to be loud and really get it out there that they spent their money on fireworks, even though technically in my state it's illegal to set them off. I think it's funnier when people set them off and the cops come, but it's a show. Like, let the people have the show, because they get this once a year, and it's just, I don't know. Fireworks are sick. I'm not trying to like stand or support or defend anything. I'm just saying, Fireworks are sick, and 4th of July is really nice because it's barbecue and lots of food. But yeah, so how the day went down, I'll talk about this. Probably like the last big thing I'll talk about. Maybe one more thing after, but mainly this. My grandmother came over. We had a barbecue, and my dad's work friend came over. Where they talked for a little bit. They played some beanbag tossing game. I forget what it's called. When you aim for the hole in the beanbag wooden frame. It's pretty much just beanbag toss in my opinion. But yeah, I went swimming in the pool. It was a nice warm day for the 4th of July. My grandmother, we had barbecue. The steak tips were nice. We had hot dogs, and honestly, I think we have some left over. I might have to eat them after this episode is done recorded. But it was a nice day overall. And then I was told like 2 days in advance, hey, if you want to come over for 4th of July, you can, by a friend of mine. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I was a little confused because I was like, he said, I don't know how many people I can have sleep over. So I was under the impression, well, I'm like a couple minutes away from his house. I'm not going to sleep over and make it be more of a hassle. I don't know what anyone else was told when it comes to what they are coming over for doing. I was expecting just a chill fire at his house, but it was way more. It was sick. I walk in, like 11 people are here. I'm like, yo, this is going to be sick. I don't even know what's going to happen, but it's going to be sick. We were playing Cup Pong. We were playing the Nintendo Switch. He has an Xbox. He was playing Brawlhalla and Smash, and then Mario Kart and Minecraft, all that stuff. It was nice. And then a friend of mine who owns a farm, he was like, yo, so guess what? My dad's got like $200+ of fireworks. We're going to be setting them off at my farmhouse. And it's like right around the corner from the other one's house, the one we were already at. And I was like, yo, this about to be sick. And he was like, so we have a big group of people, like 11. And he doesn't know how many people we can usually have, like not that many. As long as we're not loud and rowdy, like giving a reason for the cops to come over or annoying the people that are already there because he has a lot of friends and family of his parents at there. We weren't that bad, in my opinion. So yeah, come like 9 o'clock on 4th of July night, we walk down the road from my first friend's house, from his house down. It's like a cul-de-sac area, not like a dead end, but it loops around. And to the right, from the bottom of that road where his house was, turn right, then down and left. That's the farm. They had this really cool Tin Man statue inside the cabbage area for the farm. I think it was cabbage, maybe I'm wrong. And Dorothy was next to it. It reminded me of a thing when I was a child. I used to see these in this town park area, like a town or two over from where I live. They had these pumpkin character contest things, and you'd vote for which one you liked the most, but they were really creative. I think I remember seeing a Mr. Potato Head one out of pumpkins. I saw the whole entire ensemble of the Wizard of Oz characters. If you just look up, I'm pretty sure pumpkin pumpkin character thing. If you look up like pumpkin characters, the statues, you might be able to find what I'm talking about. They have pumpkins for head. They're really creatively made. They have like hay for bodies. They look cool and they're really creative, and I like them, especially around fall, because fall is a really nice time of the year. The leaves fall. You can go get apple cider. You can go pumpkin picking. You can go apple picking. You can do all that stuff. Every season's good. Fall has its good reasons as well. It kind of marks the end of summer and like goes into the longest winter, or the winter when it's usually cold. But I digress. It's still a nice time, and it's a change of it flips the rest of the year on its head, and it's its own distinct season, because think of how half of spring is usually a little cold because winter just came. Fall, while like it's a little colder, fall is it's really, I think it's unique because spring has a little bit of summer and a little bit of winter in it, and winter has a little bit of spring in it. Or no, winter, it's really cold, and then a little bit of spring is inside of that when it's colder there. So I think, in my opinion, fall is the most unique season. I'm not saying it's the best one. I'm just saying there's a lot of cool things you can do in it, and fall is a nice time, and it's very nice colors. I digress. Getting back to what we were doing, we went to his house. We walked down the long road to his area. They already were setting them off. We were like, yo, this about to be sick. And it was like an hour of fireworks, setting off all the different kinds. He had these big ones that go boom, 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 boom. He had spinner ones that would like zoom. I have some videos of them. I wish I had a better way to show them, especially if I'm on the Spotify version. You probably can't see them. But you know what fireworks look like, to be completely honest. I'm not gonna really, it doesn't really matter. You know what the gist is. But it was sick. My friends and I were while watching them. They were attached a spinner to a tree, and it went for like 5 minutes just doing a circle. It looked like the Doctor Strange portals. It was cool. And I was like, yo, this is sick. I'm having a good time, way better than just sitting at home. Although if I was at home, I probably would have been having a fire with my parents and making like s'mores, and we did that a couple days after, I think, or the day after. But and then it started to rain. So rain always screws things over. But to be honest, it was still nice. Yeah, for like an hour at his house with fireworks, and then we headed back. We head back afterwards when they're done with the fireworks. Most people were already left by now, as in not people like the people in our group, but like his adults, friends, like his parents or friends and family, close members nearby that wanted to see the fireworks show, and it was cool. They have like a log cabin with this nice pool next to it, and a nice garage area. It had like a Jeep inside of it and a Harley Davidson bike, I think, and a mini version of that next to it. It was cool. I'm pretty sure you can drive it yourself. A lot of cool things: a golf cart and a basketball hoop with literally a beehive, like a hornets onto it. It was funny. People were screwing with it, kind of. We head back, yeah. So we head back to my other friend's house, the one we originally went to, and we're chilling at his house for like 5-10 minutes. The group starts to split up. Some of them go to one of the group members. They went to someone's mom's boyfriend's house, and then another one went to him and a friend went to his house, and then they came back afterwards. We sort of split up, but not like the whole entire group. Just like a big like 7 of us were still in the main group, and like 2 pairs of 2 went on their own way, but they came back afterwards. When everyone kind of came back into the house after like 5 minutes, went outside, had a nice ass fire. We started. He had like sodas and stuff outside set up for it. He had the hot dogs they brought outside, and let me just tell you something off the bat. Fire hot dogs are way better than grill hot dogs, like by a landslide. One, you yourself are cooking it, not like your father making them on the grill, like, oh, I'm cooking them up, you ready for them smoking? No, you put them on a stick, and they are so nice when you get to decide how you want them cooked. Instead of it being like, oh, can you cook it a little less, you cook it a little more? That's not enough guidance when it comes to making a hot dog at somebody. You make it yourself on a fire. I will be doing this in the future, 100%. I don't know how many times, but hot dog fires are so nice. And I ate those hot dogs, and I was like, holy shit, these are good. KM was the brand. It was Wonder Bread for the buns. I remember that much. So I'm gonna remember that afterwards. I'm gonna make them. We're gonna get that stuff in the future, and I'm gonna have a nice ass hot dog fire. Not only that, I had 2 hot dogs, and they were super good. We have this lemon water bottle. I remember bottled water. I had it before from this. I think they sell it at Market Basket. It's not even bad. It's really good. It's like a nice tint of lemon to it. And then I also had a Coke. It was nice. You know what Coke tastes like. It's kind of like got that sizzle to it, if that makes sense for like carbonation. And then we had marshmallows. I'm not dissing. The marshmallows were kind of sticky in the back, like not morphing together, but like a little bit melted. But they were so fire over the fire too. Fuego. The marshmallows over the fire are fuego. And you know what? You know what's good about that? As good as those were, and I cooked them nice and burned them a little bit, and they just had that nice, like, they melt in your mouth kind of thing. We have my grandmother, real quick, we'll talk like side story. My grandmother she won a thing from a giveaway, a couple marshmallows, this brand that has some like stuffed marshmallows with like chocolate filling, vanilla filling, like extra stuff inside of the marshmallows. She wasn't getting them for after a couple weeks of them saying they shipped them, and she was like, where are they? She's like, they're like, oh, we're sorry for the wait and the delay. They are coming now. They're on their way. She got 12 extra packages. She was giving them out like freaking food to the homeless, literally just left, right here. You get some marshmallows. You get some marshmallows. To my family members, obviously, not like random strangers, but she had a lot of marshmallows, and I haven't had them yet. I really want to. I have them upstairs. I'm going to have a fire in the next couple weeks before the end of the month. I would love to have some people over. It would be a nice time. The fireplace is sick. It's made out of like stone around it. But yeah, we went to his house, had a nicest fire. We were there for maybe like an hour more after the fire sort of died down. After we all ate, we listened to music. It was nice. We were in the dark going brazy, literally. We went back inside. We started blasting the song by YG in the dark. It was nice. My one friend got really mad about it. We were like, we're going to blast it louder. We're going to jam it. We're going to dance to it. And you're going to be mad because you don't like the song because you're picky. But the song is so good. That's another song recommendation. You haven't listened to In the Dark by YG right now. That song is so catchy and so not even bad. It's nice with it. I'm in the dark going crazy. That's literally all you need to know. Listen to that stuff. I digress. Around 11:30, I went back home. It was a nice day. I played Minecraft till like 2:30. Listened to the Pop Smoke album, and it was nice. So that was a good 4th of July, in my opinion. I had a nice day. I'm just saying. Not even complaining. I was having a good time. It was a nice change of scenery as well. I keep saying that a lot this time. But compared to staying in my house for 3 months, almost 4, I needed to get out of there, so I took a beach trip. I went to New Hampshire for a week. I went to my friends, and I hung out with them at the houses and fireworks, and it was a good time. The last, month has been very nice, very nice. Ever since school finished, summertime actually been feeling like summer, which makes sense. But I digress. I'm getting too much into it. We're close to an hour now. I think I'll wrap it up here. I talked enough about it. I'm happy that I'm back, and you guys get to listen to this if you really want to. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you would want more of me just gibbering. You can always put this stuff on in the background. You can play podcasts on Spotify, on Xbox, and your phone. If you're just doing something and you're the kind of person that can multitask, where you can play a game and listen to someone talk, kinda, or you're doing a chill thing like Minecraft, and you can just have them talking about things and it's in the back of your head while you're building something, feel free to do that, because that's what I do sometimes with the podcast, and I really like them, and they really give you freedom with that. You can pause it whenever you want and all that stuff. No ads in the podcast. It's really nice without that. I know I did an ad last time about Anchor. I'm just going to let you in a little secret. I'm probably not going to do that because you would need 1,000 listens to get $15. To do the math, I got 5 total listens. I need 200 more, though, times more of that. That's not likely. I'm not saying that couldn't happen in the future. I also never set up the money account for how they would transfer the funds to you, so I'm not going to worry about that. Granted, I'm still going to give a shout out to Anchor for giving me a nice-ass platform to put this stuff out on. It makes it way easier than what I would ever know. So yeah, if you actually do want to make a podcast, I'm not going to lie. I'm just saying it. Sponsored, not sponsored, whatever you want to call it. It's just me telling you, use Anchor for a really easy steps to get a podcast out on a platform, and all the platforms pretty much. But that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. If you did enjoy this, if you're listening on YouTube, feel free to hit the like button. If you're listening on Spotify, feel free to hit the follow button so you can know whenever I upload the new episodes. Weekends, just saying, it comes out on weekends. Just be aware of that. Not every weekend. Sometimes I'll take a break or two, but it does come out on weekends. That is the time frame, so don't expect it on the week. But I do usually record them in the week, just so you know. But like I said, that's going to be a today's episode. I have more planned. Like I said, that whole giant list. If I showed you how long that list of music is, you'd be like, that's a pretty long list. But yeah, I will see you guys next episode. I'm probably going to play Minecraft right now because I'm having lots of fun with Minecraft. I might go watch another movie. But I'm going to eat some marshmallows and make some hot dogs and eat some burgers, all that stuff. I'm going to have a good day. I hope you have a good day too. Stay safe. Have fun. Make this summer one to remember in a good and bad way. No, I don't mean a bad way. I just mean it's one to remember because of the coronavirus, but make the best out of it. Hang out with some people. Keep your social distance, but hang out with some people because I'm definitely going to be soon, and I'm not letting this ruin my life. All right? I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Grandpa's Fridge.